Good evening, Temple fam. Dropping in here tonight to talk a little bit about resistance because this is one of the things that so many of us experience. That if you've had this experience of like, I'm going to create this, I'm going to build this vision, I'm going to set a new goal, and then all the reasons come up of why you don't need to do that, why it's not important, of saying, hey, you don't need to put energy towards that, even though you really want that thing. This is resistance. So, firstly, I want to define a little bit of what it is, talk about how to build a relationship with it, and talk about some skills and practices you can begin to cultivate so you can actually overcome this and begin to choose a conscious life. So, firstly, for me, resistance is exactly what I said. It's that voice or the internal resistance to doing the things that we say we want to do. So this could be an internal state of feeling like an imposter. It could be like, I need to get this perfect, so in perfectionism. Or it could just be excuses like, I don't have enough time. There's so much on my plate right now. I'll do it when my life is better. I'll do it when I have more time. Do it when I'm not dealing with these other problems. Now, there is some nuance to that where at times, hey, you don't have capacity, and actually taking on too much can be a part of a avoidance mechanism, and a part of resistance, because it's like, well, I don't want to put energy into creating what I said I wanted to, so I'm going to resist that by taking on too much on my plate. But this essentially is what resistance is. And when we can begin to recognize what occurs for us in those internal states and our programming and our conditioned response, because we will have certain triggers, and you can begin to identify what that is for you. So you might be someone who says, oh, I'll do it later. That might be your pattern, and then you end up filling up your time with things that aren't important. You may be someone who overcommits and says yes to everything and then feels resentful towards people, and that can be your resistance. You may be someone who just has other forms of resistance of saying, hey, I'm not good enough. Who am I to be doing that? I need to get this perfect before I can produce it, before I can share it. That may be your level of resistance. So, how we want to do this is begin to identify it. Because if you can identify what your resistance pattern is, you can begin to get to know it and have awareness around it. Like tonight, for me, my resistance to doing this video was, it's not that important to do this video. And I was like, hey, what are you showing up for? What are you committed to? And why is this important to me? And this is the thing. Resistance will want you to buy into the story of what it is telling you. Maybe it's not important. Maybe it's not what, like, you don't need to put energy. Maybe you're tired, whatever it is. And I'm not someone who says you need to like push through, force it, make it happen. For me, it's actually reconnecting to what's important, because I'm not trying to show up here and be blah. I'm just showing up because that's actually what's important to me. So, firstly, you need to come back to a place of why is what you said important to you. So, if you're currently wanting to improve your health, coming back to the vision. So, this is why people talk about having a vision and the importance of having a vision, because when you connect to the vision and say, hey, this is important because I desire this, I want this, well, that will help you identify why it is important. If you don't have a clear vision and you're like, I'm just doing this because I think I should, well, it's going to lack a lot of the intrinsic motivation that will help you stay committed. So this is really, really important to have a sense of why are you doing this and why is this important for you. So if you can actually track that and be like, okay, I want to be healthy so I can enjoy more time with my kids and have more energy to spend with them. That could be an intrinsic motivation, and that's like, oh, when you come up with resistance of I don't want to get up early and go for a walk or go to the gym, it's like, actually, why am I doing that? Well, it's not actually about going to the gym, it's actually about your children. And see how that allows you to drop a deeper level inside yourself and remember what is important. And for me, the single piece around this is actually coming back to why is this important for myself? A lot of people, and there's different stages of this, and this is a level of it, will go, okay, what am I creating for the world? Why is this important for the world? And there's a level of knowing what that is And this is important, and this is a different conversation. You need to know why you're doing this on a greater level of like, okay, I want to create a more wholesome dynamic within my family. I want to show my kids how to live more healthy. Like that's an example from the previous one. But the point is, if you are doing this and it's like, okay, that's one reason, but why is this important for you? Oh, you enjoy spending time with your kids. Families are high value for you. Oh, that makes it a level of importance for you. And so that will help fuel you because you remember what you're committed to. So by having these two values and being able to remind yourself in those moments of resistance. So begin a practice of, okay, why is this important to me? Why did I originally say I wanted to do this? And why do I want that result? If you're able to answer these questions, you'll then be able to be like, oh, the resistance, yeah, maybe I feel like an imposter, but it's actually important to me because I said I was going to do this. And so I'm going to do this and I'm going to show up for it. See, that changes the relationship to the imposter syndrome. It's like, no, this is for me. It's not about the results. It's not about being seen a certain way. It's about you. And when you're able to come at it from that place, well, your relationship to resistance will change. So enjoy, overcome your resistance, and see what's on the other side.